Good morning and welcome along to another vlog. It's Monday the 26th of May, which means it's Bank Holiday Monday and also half term, and that means of course the kids are off school. So this week's going to be a little bit different for me. I'm not going to be able to spend much time doing any coding on Brickmetrics or on my secret project. In fact, this week's all going to be about uploading. We're going to be trying to upload a huge amount of parts. I've got a great big box of parts in the conservatory that's been sat there for ages, and we really need to get that uploaded. So we set ourselves a challenge. We're going to try and upload as many parts as we can this week. So stay tuned and let's see how we get on. But before we look at uploading, let's go and have a quick look at the store and just see where we're up to. Okay, so there we go. This is just the storefront, and as you can see, we've got 519,000 parts in the store. Now that's up 7,500 on last week, so that's a pretty good increase. Obviously that doesn't include parts that we sold as well during the week, so we uploaded a little bit more than that, but that's still really good. It's still growing nicely. Lot count is now 15,800, and that's up by 164. And again, the same thing applies. We have uploaded more than that, but with the sales, it's sort of a net increase of 160. So again, really pleased with that. And of course, as you know, the stock is all coming from the Brick Arena store purchase that we made last year. In terms of orders, we're at 9,649, which means that we only did 20 orders last week. Now, it was quiet. I think partly the weather had something to do with that. In the UK here, it's been really nice and sunny. And as we all know, when the sun shines, Lego is not the sort of first thing that everyone does. Saying that, 20 orders still. Feedback, 16. Now normally you get sort of half the number of orders, is the number of feedback we normally get in a week. So to get 16 feedback with only 20 orders just books the trend a little bit, but still really good. So 5,347 at the moment. So there you go. That's just a quick recap as to where we are with the store. In terms of the office, well, yes, I know it's still looking a bit of a mess over there. I've still got that job to do. Maybe we'll have a look at it this week, who knows. These drawer units, they're all getting filled up nicely, and they're going to be stored upstairs in the attic. That's a sort of overflow, additional stock, slow movers maybe, but just where I haven't got the physical space in this room for them, and I don't think there's any point having them in this room if they're going to move slow. So they'll eventually head upstairs, clearing that area out, but it's a long journey to get rid of or to consolidate all the Brick Arena stock. So I've still got plenty of space upstairs, and so that'll be sort of turned over, so to speak. We started to use the 2 extra units that we put in last week. If I can just move that one out of the way. We started at the bottom with some of the heavier parts, just to give it a bit of a base. So we've started on that already. I finished off the other Rayco unit yesterday. I got a little bit of time just before our Bricklink and Brickowl Facebook group meeting, which is always on the last Sunday of the month. And yeah, it was another really good meeting. In fact, it for me, it was almost 6 hours. We started at 6:30. A lot of people finished at about 9, and we carried on till gone midnight. Yeah, 6 hours. Wow, I can't believe it. But lots being discussed. In fact, we spent the last part of the chat talking about automatic part sorters, which is really, really interesting. So we'll see how we get on with that as a group. Be interesting to see how it all pans out. So it's bank holiday weekend. It's bank holiday Monday today, so it's also half term for the kids. They're off for the week, so This week's going to be a bit of a challenge in terms of what we do. We will obviously do orders, and just looking at the orders from the weekend, we've got 12 orders in total, 157 lots to pick, 778 items. So that's going to take, you know, just over an hour, I reckon, just to get all of those orders picked and packed. We'll go to the post office probably this afternoon. I'm in no rush for the post office because even though it's open, Royal Mail aren't working, so they won't collect the orders until tomorrow morning. So it won't affect anything if I get them out today or first thing in the morning, but I do need to get them picked and packed because I can't leave that till tomorrow morning. There simply won't be enough time. So we should do that today. We've got a customer coming to collect one of the sets from East Midlands Lego High, which is just sat there. That's all ready to go, and we should have another customer later on this afternoon as well. So busy on that front, as of course. So yeah, it's probably best I get cracking. Good morning. Well, it's Tuesday and first day sort of back at work properly, because it's been the bank holiday weekend and yesterday was bank holiday Monday. And although I did pick all the orders and get them off to the post office, I didn't really do much else. Yesterday evening I did get a couple of hours and I just worked on a brick store file and did an upload of a couple of thousand parts, but apart from that, nothing else happening in the store. So this morning's all been about catching up. I've been catching up on emails, some BRICKS messages, a BRICKLink message, messages through Facebook Marketplace. It has been all go, but I think I'm there. I think I'm up to date. I think I've responded to everybody. If I haven't, I do apologise, but I think I'm just about there. Had one issue to deal with on BRICKS, which was a little bit disappointing, but you know, mistakes happen. I sold a collectible minifigure and it was labelled incorrectly, and I don't know why, I don't know how it's happened, but I've sent out the wrong minifigure. Thankfully I did have the correct minifigures still in stock. I had more than one, so I was able to just send out a replacement, and you know, hopefully the customer will get that in a couple of days and all will be good. Yeah, but I'm just disappointed because, you know, it cost me money to do that. It's a mistake. The customer wasn't happy. It was a present for a family member, so you know, the main thing is apologise and rectify. So hopefully I've done that. The replacement minifigure will be going out in the post shortly when I nip up to the post office. As you can see, the picking table is empty. All the orders have been processed and are ready to go to the post office. So plan for today is I'm going to finish off this Roco unit here. There's only a few drawers left now of used. As you can see here, these are sort of part filled drawers, all used, and I will fill those up and get them back into the main wall. You can see there's lots of gaps, but it just saves me getting up and down each time. There's a bit of capacity in there, and like I said before, I've really got to fill the drawers. I can't have the luxury of just having one part per division within a drawer. I really have to sort of bulk it up and fill them up, otherwise we're not going to get much more in this room if I didn't do that. And interesting, there was a comment on last week's vlog about space, and I just responded with, you know, at some point we're going to say this room is full. There is no more space capacity left in it, and the only way we're going to make space is by selling more Lego. So I'm just wondering how quickly we're going to get to that point, do any of you guys, are any of you guys at that point? Do you feel that your store is that full you can't expand, or you don't want to expand, you're happy with the size of your store? Because obviously the more you put in, hopefully the more orders you get, but with more orders you need to dedicate more time to pick, pack and dispatch those orders, and of course you've got customers waiting, so that then becomes a priority. Let me know in the comments. It'd be interesting to see if anyone does feel that their store is at that maximum capacity. We're definitely not. We are not there. Although physically we might be full, i.e. we've got all our units in, we've still got space underneath. Just at the back there's 2 stacks of really useful drawers that are not in the inventory at the moment, so I've got 10 of those. Eventually I've got space upstairs for the bulk and sort of bigger quantities, so I know a lot of it's going to go up there, and of course there is plenty of capacity left in these drawers because they had certainly not all full to capacity. So yeah, there you go. Right. So yeah, today, I've already mentioned, I'm going to carry on with a brick store file for that Rayco unit and get that out of here. And then I've got to make a decision whether I go back to new. Obviously we've got plenty of space for new, or stick with the used. We've still got a few drawers down there at the bottom that haven't been touched just yet. And there's, like I say, there's loads of room in those. But I'll decide later. It'll probably be dictated by the first Rayco unit I find. However, East Midlands Lego hire, we've got a couple of customers due today. Titanic's going out, and the Harry Potter Hogwarts Express is also going out. So I'm currently waiting on the first customer at the moment, and then I've got to go and do the weekly food shop, so that's going to delay this morning. I think the other thing that's going to happen this week is I'm not going to get an opportunity to do any coding. That's simply because it is half term, the kids are at home, and it's just one of those things. If I am sat in here working, the kids will distract me quite easily, and when I'm coding I really need to be focused. So I'm thinking that this week I might just simply do uploading, and that's it. I don't think there's going to be any issues reported with BRICKmetrics that need my immediate attention. I think everything's quite stable right now, so that's all good. So I might just focus on part uploading. Now I can't remember what it was now. It might have been, was it last night? It might be last night. I was watching Noah's vlog, Noah from the Brick Shed, and he did a 10,000 part upload in one file. It was a load of 1x1 round plates, and he mentioned that Jason from Kiwi Brick Exchange did a 10,000 lot upload in a week. So 10,000 lot upload in a week, a 10,000 lot upload in a day. How can I beat that? I'm gonna have a think. It might give me an idea for tomorrow, but we'll see. If I do come up with something, it'll be later on in the vlog. Right, okay, that's enough I think. I'm gonna get cracking, and hopefully try and achieve something decent today. Try and get a decent upload. I think that's going to be the ambition. Right, let's crack on. Okay, so that's us back from Break Escape in Loughborough, and yeah, although it was raining on the way down and when we came out, it was actually really good. We were in there for just over an hour. The actual escape we did in 55 minutes, so we were out with 5 minutes to spare, and we managed to complete it, which for the three of us was really good. We did get a little bit of help. We did get completely stuck at a couple of moments, but you know, the guy only gave us hints. He didn't give us the answers or anything, but we got there. A good team effort from the Parky boys, so well done to them. Just on another note though, that cost me £65 for the three of us. They do have a minimum charge of a couple of adults, even though obviously those two were under the 18. But it was £65. Now, for an hour's entertainment, for something that was a bit different, Charlie's never been to an escape rooms before, it was good, and I'm not going to knock it for that. What I am going to do though is compare it, and I'm going to compare it to East Midlands Lego Hire. For £50, our most expensive set is £50, and that is the UCS Millennium Falcon. I do have a couple of others at £50, but that hire is £50 for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. How many hours does it take to actually build the Millennium Falcon? Obviously, it all depends on your own skill set and how quick you are at building, but you're going to get hours, and I mean hours and hours and hours out of building that, and then going through the reverse bagging process. At £50, it really hits home to me that it's an absolute bargain. Now, I'm not going to stand here and up my prices or anything, but it really is fantastic value for money to hire these sets rather than sort of purchase them outright if you then can't enjoy them. I know it's not for everybody, and I'm not trying to convert everybody into hiring, but just on the value for money front, it's amazing. But like I said, we had a great time at Break Escape. It was really good fun. So obviously I'm back. I had another couple of hours left of the working day, so I've been working on another brick store file. I've got just over halfway through this unit, but interestingly, a comment came through from another Bricklink seller, a friend of mine, Jason. I've spoken about him before actually, but Jason sent me a message, and in it was a little diagram of what we should do with this area here. So this is our picking desk. Now normally I would stand on the far side and I'll be facing my desk or facing the window, but he suggested building a kind of raised shelf. So it'd come up from the corner here, it would go across round about this height and drop down again, and underneath I can use that as still my picking area. I can put parcels there or whatever. I might have to rethink how this set of scales fits in because of height, but that can be sort of designed. But sitting on top of the shelves, sort of in this area, is we put 2 Rayco units back to back. So when we look at the shelf from this side, I can obviously see underneath and through, but then there'll be a wall of Rayco units. Now I haven't measured it, so I don't know how many I'd get across. If I go on to it'll probably go 4 across. So 4 across, plus then on the other side, so there'll be 4 on the other side facing these units, so they'll be picked from the other side. There's 8. I could definitely get another set on top, so it would actually give me 16 Rayco units. Now interestingly, when Jason sent that to me, I thought, that looks like the idea we had a while ago, and it was poo-pooed. It was poo-pooed because of the light. Unfortunately, I have only got this one light in this whole room. I have to put in it the most powerful bulb I can find, but that's the only light. And I think putting that unit right there is going to really change the lighting in this room, and I think it's going to make that side really dark. So if we're to go ahead and do this, which I am contemplating, because 16 Rayco units is not to be sniffed at. That's really going to add capacity into this room. I think I have to find a solution to the lighting. Now I can't just go and put new lighting in the ceiling or anything. I need to find some other way of getting light into that area. I don't think this side's going to be too bad. I get a lot of natural light through the windows, in fact too much light through the windows during the day. So it's just something I'm gonna have to think about. So I've got another question for you guys. Do any of you use sort of rechargeable LED strips or any other kind of strip lighting, any other suggestions for adding something in above, how would I power it, how would I position it. I've looked at lights that they have, you know, bases, and I was thinking along the top of having something, but I don't think they reach out far enough to get the light all the way down. So I haven't really found anything. Obviously, if any of you have got any suggestions, pop a comment down below, or even better, send me a link or anything like that. I'd be really appreciative, because it might just help push that idea forward. I have no problem with the shelf. I think I can build that with you know, some MDF. I might need to have another look at this situation though. Obviously we've got a height restriction. I don't want to send it up too high, and that will determine where that bottom shelf lives. I think I do need the bottom shelf, just simply because I do use this space here. It's not a lot of space really, is it? But I've got other stuff, you know, other stuff's there. It's part of the process of packing orders. I did have an idea actually. This was supposed to be temporary. This is the old table. We literally just took the legs off it. But the downside is this bit. This is just wasted. Originally I thought of putting in a new sort of tabletop, again with MDF, but this would be accessible, and I could use that area just to store packing material, hey, plastic bags, anything like that I can store underneath there, and it's just neat, and it's, you know, out of the way, and doesn't create this mess, and it means I can clear that lot up as well. So I might factor that in and make something completely bespoke. So Jason, I know you watch. Thank you very much for sending me that message, and, you know, really sparking again a little bit of imagination. So thanks very much. I'm going to seriously consider it. I will have to win over the wife though as well, so I'll see what I can do. We've got another brick store file ready to upload. There's only 77 lots, but another 1,500 parts, so I'm going to do that in a second, and then I'll see where it impacts us on the current store list. I'm just zooming in. I'm third from the bottom on page 1, just short of 15,900 lots, so there are quite a few new lots in there. Whether I'll move up another level, I don't know, but I am pretty close to the next 2 people, but we'll see. I've also been taking the opportunity to catch up with Noah from the Brick Shed on his YouTube channel, and I've just watched the 2 videos of him purchasing another Bricklink store, and getting hopefully to number 1 on the Australian list of stores. But really great content. So, you know, I do recommend the channel. If you've not already subscribed, go and have a look. Based in Australia, but lots of stuff there to learn, and yeah, really good content on purchasing the store. So congratulations again, Noah. Really good, and we'll catch up soon. Okay, so it is sort of towards the end of my working day now. I need to think about getting a bit of food for the kids, and that kind of thing. So I'm going to sign off. I'll see you all tomorrow. Okay, so we're just here in the conservatory, and this is the status now of the Rayco units. Now in the 44 drawer version, these ones in front of me, you can see we sort of go 4 across and 3 back, and there is 2 stacks. So let me test my maths. 3 4s are 12, doubled up 24. There's 1 missing there, but I do have an extra on there, so I've got 24 Rayco units there, you know, which is obviously more than enough to fit, was it the 6? Yeah, 16 in the office. It sounds very appealing. I just need to be careful, I suppose, of this gap, because I think there's going to have to be a piece of wood in the middle to mount the units back to each other. I don't think it's a good idea to try and do this without actually mounting them properly. So just another thing to be thinking about. But I've got the 24 there, and then I've got these slightly longer ones. I think these are 60 draw, but I think these are off that rotating unit, which I haven't yet managed to find all the parts for and even think about building. But there are, I think there's 6 of them down there that still need to be emptied. So that's it in terms of Rayco units. I've already mentioned, I think before in previous vlogs, these blue plastic drawers. There's 2 boxes of them there, all full, and we've still got a bit left over on the windowsill over there, and there's another load of them over there that need to be emptied out. We've then got some instructions that are part of the file that need to be added, and I think that black box there, oh, that's just got cups in it. So it feels like we're getting really close. Now then, I spoke about maybe setting some sort of challenge for ourselves earlier, and this is it. There is a great big box here of bulk, which is just overstock really. I'm hoping that most of that is already in the store, so by adding this I'm not going to increase the lot count at all, fingers crossed, because if I do, then I haven't found the other part of it in here yet. But it's not about increasing the lot count. This is simply by increasing the part count. I've got no idea the quantity in there. I haven't been down to the bottom or anything like that. This is going to be get it out and see what we've got. But I've managed to rope the family into helping out. So if I just come over here, we have moved the scales in here. We've set up some containers. We've got the yellow sorting container over there that we can use. We've got various other plastic pots and everything, and we're simply just going to get all of this counted in here. So we've done one as a sort of training exercise here, and there's 544 inverted slopes. So they're going to do that for me and get the counts, and I'm then going to make up a brick store file, and we're going to see whether we can beat the 10,000 that Noah did in his last vlog. So that's the challenge. We've got to beat that. So this will continue probably into tomorrow. It is Tuesday evening at the moment. So I've done a training session. I've shown him how to use it. I don't think we'll get much done tonight, but tomorrow we're really going to go for it and see how many parts we can get into a brick store file and then upload it to the store. Right, let's get cracking. Good morning. It's Wednesday, and just down in the office and looking at this brick store file that we created yesterday with all the new parts from this Rayco unit, and I can't actually remember if I've uploaded it. I'm having a bit of a senior moment. Easy to check. There was quite a few items on here that were brand new to the store. So I can just go and check the current inventory level, and if it's 0, it means I definitely didn't upload it. But if that's the case, we've got another 1,500 parts, 77 lots to upload. So I'll do that shortly. No, I won't. I'll be doing it later on this morning because we've had a fantastic evening of sales. We've got 13 orders. They're all picked, they're all picked, ready for packing. Over double our daily target in terms of revenue. So absolutely fantastic. I think, May has finally started to pick up now that we're approaching the end of May. So obviously I think people are getting paid, and they've now got that sort of, hopefully, the spare income to start buying again. We'll see how the next few days go as we get over the end of May. But yeah, really good. Maybe the weather. The weather's turned. We've It's raining pretty much most of yesterday, so maybe that's had an effect. People are at home and starting to look at their sets again. So that's going to be the first job. We'll get all that packed up and off to the post office, and then I'm going to have a quick look at that brick store file, sort that out, and then we're going to get back on with the challenge. So earlier on I talked about that huge box of bulk. Now my wife did quite a bit yesterday evening of counting, and we're now not confident of giving it to the kids. So that might slightly change the plan, but I still have you know, a box full of counted parts that I can now start to create a brick store file for. I've also got the end of this Rayco unit to finish off. There's just you know, there's last sort of 10 drawers to do. So it's just going to be another busy day of uploading, and we'll see if we can create quite a large brick store file for upload later on this week, I reckon. Just depends how quickly we can get through that box. Looking at the amount that was done last night, which was fantastic, it was a great start. We went to the big box and thought, we've hardly made a dent. There's so much in there. Now I do have some more boxes being delivered today as well, because that's the other sort of stumbling block. I need to have the right boxes to store this in to go upstairs. So that's another job that needs to be done. We've got to move our boxes around and sort of reorganize some of the parts that have been stored in them, so we've got the right boxes to go upstairs and store some of this bulk. Yeah, a lot to do today. Another busy day, and I'm also wearing my running stuff, so another run this lunchtime as well. We'll see if we can get to maybe 2.5 miles. That'd be an achievement. So yeah, another busy day. Let's get cracking. So I just thought I'd jump on and just give you a quick update on where we are. It's still Wednesday. We finished this Rayco unit, and I've kind of positioned it on the corner of the picking table just to get an idea of the sort of physical space it's going to take up. And I've already noticed that when I'm picking and I like to get to that blue set of drawers from this side, I can't do it with this in the way. So it doesn't mean it's completely inaccessible. I can obviously get to it from the other side, but it kind of changes how I do my picking if this is going to go ahead. But yeah, it was just to give you an idea. But I've emptied that one out, and I've started on a second one, and my brick store files now are 1,000 parts, and I've just consolidated it all, and it's all away in the store. But there you go, 1,000 parts. So I'm just about to upload those. I've also started to create another brick store file that we're going to be working on now over the next few days, and this is the first lot that's been added. That's all been counted by my wife with the scales in the conservatory, and this was the batch that she did last night. So that's all been added, and wow, it was so quick to do. I've been dreading that box for ages, but it really helped out with my wife doing the counting. It's really saved me a load of time. So she's going to do a bit more on that this afternoon and into the evening, hoping that everything goes all right at work in her day job. But yeah, there should be some more of that being added tomorrow. Now, the other thing that's arrived is this. Now this has come from Lego. This is pick-a-brick stuff, and when the delivery driver brought it in, he said, I'm going to mark this as being open and unchecked, and the reason for that is there's absolutely no tape on it. I mean, when he picked it up, it just came open. So quite strange, because normally Lego would obviously tape the boxes, but they haven't in this case. So there's the invoice, and everything is just in one great big bag, and it is sealed, so obviously there's a good chance that nothing's been lost. But you can see there's a bit of damage on the plastic on the outside of this, as if that's been caught somewhere. Now I'm hoping that the Lego itself isn't damaged, but we'll see. And yeah, to those people that complain about how Bricklink sellers pack orders, everything in there is just loose. So that's going to be my job this afternoon now, to go through that and create another brick store file, but get all of that emptied out and sorted. So that's what I'm going to work on next. I'm probably not going to show much of it, just simply because it's pick a brick stuff, but we'll get it uploaded, and we'll see how we get on in terms of the lot count this afternoon. Just thought I'd come on and give you guys another update. I'm starting to feel a bit tired now. It's still Wednesday afternoon, it's 4:30. I'm just catching up with Pop's Block Shop. I think I'm really quite far behind with his vlog, so I've had those on this afternoon just as I've been generating another brick store file. So this Rico unit is now empty. It's all consolidated and the file is ready to go. We've got 2,095 items, 89 lots, just under £140. So we'll get those uploaded in a second, but then I think I might just sort of call it a day in the office. It's getting a bit warm in here. I've just got to put away these trays. There's a bit of rubbish to deal with, and just have a little bit of a neaten up. You can see that here I've managed to now move upstairs the other trays. We've started another one, and in fact these two are the last two trays in the first column upstairs. I think it's 19 high. I think it goes from the floor all the way up to the ceiling, and all that means is we'll move on to column number 2. But that's okay, that's good. A little bit of a mess to tidy up over here, but let's get this brick store file uploaded. Now I'm currently third from the bottom on page 1 at 15,929. So let me put the camera down without hitting the keyboard, always helps. Oh, okay, it's always easier to drive when you've got two hands. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's gone over this side. Right, just pasting that in and verifying. So 2,095 items, 89 lots, £139. So that's all good. We'll upload that, swing over to this screen, and we will refresh. Let me see if I can zoom in there. Here we go. Hey, we moved up one place. So we're now sitting at 15,979 lots. So not quite that 16,000 I was hoping for. But I'm pretty sure we'll get there tomorrow. Depends on how the orders are doing. We're actually doing all right today. Let me refresh that because that's from yesterday. So we've got 6 orders so far, £43. So that's not too bad. So hopefully this evening we'll get some more, and then we should hit the daily target and hopefully exceed it. That'd be good. 100 lots though to pick. So a busy evening coming up, I think, for me. So I'll carry on. Well, I'll carry on cleaning up, and then I'm going to finish for the day. I might have to help out the missus later though when we're doing some more of the counting, but we'll see. Right, let's get cracking. Well, we've had a busy start to the day today. 8 orders that came in yesterday afternoon and overnight, including this one here. All of these are one order, and that order has exceeded the daily target on its own. Plus I had all of those orders from yesterday. I think some of them I may have even mentioned. I might have shown the screen earlier, but this order, absolutely fantastic. Lots and lots of minifigures, and to be honest, minifigures that you know you add to your store, They're nothing special, lots of city minifigures, pretty cheap, some of them less than £1, but you know, really good quantity, so absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for the order. I do appreciate it. Lots of plates as well, and these road plates, and also the tiles that go with them. So obviously some sort of Lego city being built, I think, but really good. So thank you very much. My phone's just pinged another PayPal payment, so that's another order that's come in, which means I'm running a little bit late this morning. It's great that it's half term, but I don't have to worry about the school run, but I need to obviously get these packed. Now I've got a customer coming this morning for East Midlands Lego hire. They're doing a swap, so I will probably stay at home until that's done, and then I'll go to the post office. What that means though is I'm getting a little bit behind with the big upload. Now my wife counted loads last night, absolutely loads. She made a really big dent in the box, and the box is now, I don't know, probably about a third full now maybe, which I think we'll finish off this evening. But that's going to be my main task today, to get that brick store file all added to. Now because I'm adding to that brick store file and I'm not yet processing it, it means all that bulk's just going to sit in boxes. Probably I might have to leave them in the living room actually, because I don't think there's going to be enough room in here. I've already got the one box just down here, but there's not going to be enough room, I think, to store them all. So they might end up back in the living room just as I build that file. Once the file's complete, I will then go and do the consolidation, and it's at that point that they'll get added into the really useful boxes for storage upstairs. So another busy day. Now, oh, just one other point. These two Rayco units. Now, I've now added obviously the second one, just to give me an idea of the depth that's left on the picking table. But as I was picking, I realised that in my pick path, when I'm stood on this side of the room, and I might be picking from the new drawers here, or I might be picking from the Rayco units on that wall, or even that wall, I would normally have the laptop facing me, sort of round about here, but facing me. But the boxes to add the stock into, i.e. these boxes, are where they are now. Now, if I've got a shelf running across here with Rayco units on it, I'm going to lose that access. It's going to be really awkward to stick my hand under to get to the far boxes when I'm picking. Now, that's something I hadn't quite considered, but it came really obvious last night, because lots of these parts that I had to pick were from this wall over here. And it's obviously easier just to walk this way and put it in the boxes there, rather than go round that side and pick from over there. So I'm gonna have to bear that in mind. That could be the biggest drawback to this idea. I'm gonna have to give that some serious thought, because that does change the pick path. It does change the speed at which I can pick orders. So I'm gonna have to think really careful about that. I did have an idea of just leaving this one open, but then I'm only going to get sort of 2, 4, and then maybe another 4 on that side. It's going to halve the sort of capacity, and it's going to make that kind of narrow. I'll have to have a really good think about it. I'm in no rush at the moment. These orders that have come in have made quite a few sort of holes in the wall over there. It's not a very good angle, that, but there are quite a few more drawers opened up, and I will admit that I had a problem picking the minifigures in this order. Just one minifigure completely missing out the drawer. Now, what I did do was I checked Bricklink and Brickowl to find out if I'd simply put it away in the wrong drawer, or it may have moved. So I checked the history on Brick Owl. It's never moved. I uploaded it 2 years ago, so it was at some point in 2023. I uploaded it before I was using Brickstore, so it's not in any of my Brickstore files. I've checked my email, and it's really awkward checking your email because you can't search on the part number, so you have to search on the description. And I found the order, I found this order, but I didn't find any other order. So I've never sold it before, which means that 2 years ago I made a mistake putting it in the drawers, which is really odd because I use a barcode system. I don't type in these numbers. So I'd have added it to a drawer and then scanned the barcode. It's really, really odd, but it definitely isn't in the drawer. I've searched all around it, it wasn't there. Now, thankfully, I had another one in one of my many boxes. I've forgotten which one it was, but I managed to find one. I had a spare cap. I was just missing a cap. I had a spare cap in stock anyway, so I made up the minifigure, and it was absolutely pristine. It's a really good condition minifigure, so there's nothing to worry about. I got the order done, but it was just frustrating that another inventory issue, but I can't really pinpoint like how or why. It's definitely not a syncing issue, because like I said, I've never sold it before. It has to be my issue. It has to be me. I must have put it in the wrong drawer somehow, but it was 2 years ago. I've got no chance of remembering, so the customer is sorted. That, you know, they don't even know. There was no need to tell them. Sort it out. The order is complete. We'll all move on. Right, on that note, I best get cracking. Okay, so that was the first box that we added the other day, and then this is what we've added yesterday. Now, if I move that empty one, there's still quite a bit of sorting out to do just in terms of consolidation, because as I was creating the Brickstore file, I noticed that some of the smaller bags in this box, and I think there's a couple of others, we've actually already added to the Brickstore file a bit lower down. So once I've got everything in the file, so once all of the other stuff has been counted and I've added it to the file, I can then go through all of these, and we'll start to add some parts into the store down here, and then the rest of it will go back into these boxes, all packed nice and neatly for storage upstairs. That's going to be quite a big task, and hopefully we can start on this afternoon if we get the rest of that counted this morning. That's the kind of target, that's the plan, but we'll see how we get on. Now, because I was waiting for the stock to be counted, I decided to start another Brickstore file on one of these containers. I've still got a couple more left to do. So these are mainly minifigure parts and some accessories, all sort of small parts. Now I got up to about 60 lots, and I found myself last night sort of sat here thinking, I need to probably up this. So I decided to open up this box. Now this is Brickery in stock. It's not mine, originally I should say, and it's full. Well, it's not full, it's nearly full of minifigure accessories, just lots and lots and lots of different types. So I just thought I'll go through it and I'll just pick out some bits that look interesting, maybe a little bit of quantity, and I've added all those in all around here, and now I've got a Brickstore file of 153 lots, nearly 300 items, but 153 lots, and hopefully that'll make a really big difference to the lot count when it gets uploaded. So I'm going to work on that first of all. I'm just waiting for my lad to get out of bed. It's half term, he's having a lie-in, bless him. So that's the rough plan for today. The orders have all been done and gone. We had another good day yesterday. I got an order in yesterday afternoon for special delivery, so I picked that one, packed it, and it was straight off to the post office, so hopefully the customer will get that this morning. Because it's Friday, it's also New Set Friday, and we've just released the Tuxedo Cat, part of our pocket money range, which means no reverse bagging. £10, 2 weeks, cheap and cheerful. And that was booked literally within about 2 minutes of the Facebook post going live. It's probably the quickest I've ever hired a set out, to be quite honest, on a new set Friday. So that's being picked up later on this afternoon, along with another set. So that's all good. I'm pleased about that. And that's it. That's the update. Let's get cracking. Okay, so we're ready to upload that Brickstore file with all those minifigure parts and accessories. So currently we're at the bottom of page 1, so we're still in the top 50. Fifth up from the bottom, currently sitting at 15,926 lots. Now I noticed yesterday that we were going sort of above and then below Ben's bricks. I'm not quite sure if he was uploading, but certainly making some sales, so we kept swapping places. So the file has got, where are we? There we go, 153 lots. And at the moment on my notification amount, is that the right way of saying it? Probably not. We're currently sitting at 135 items to notify, so I'll see what the difference is, because that'll be the number of new lots when we upload. Right, let me zoom out and put the camera down. It's always easier driving with both hands. Okay, that's just moved over to the other screen. I'm just going to verify. There we go. So there you go. All sorts of stuff, torsos, legs, hair pieces, and then a bit further down I think we get into some sort of, well, some other accessory type stuff from that bulk box from Brick Arena. Okay, let's go down to the bottom. So yeah, 307 items, 153 lots. So let's get that uploaded. And we'll refresh. So 15,926, and we moved at one place. 16,048. Wow, that's quite a lot. That's over 120 lots. If my maths is correct, it probably wasn't. Let's see how much this jumps by. I'll refresh that. So 135, 257, yeah. Excellent, really happy with that. In fact, I'm going to push that button now and get everyone notified. So really good. Now we're over 16,000 lots in the store. So that's the largest it's ever been. We keep growing, which is the main thing. So now I'm off to tackle all that bulk. Now this one's all about piece count. So we're currently at 524,000, aren't we? Yeah, 524,000. So let's see how much we can get in the next Brickstore file. Probably later on this afternoon. In fact, there's the email coming through for the successful notification. In fact, I wonder if it tells you, because that's the other thing to look at, is the number of users. So 1,317 users got the email. So be interesting to see if we get any orders from that later on today and over the weekend. Right, let's get on with it. There we have it. It's done. So we've emptied that huge big box of all that bulk, and it's currently now stacked in 6 of those really useful boxes, and then of course we've got the smaller one just down here. So the next task is to import the store into Brickstore, and then import all the values into the new Brickstore file that we've generated. From there we'll start the consolidation and repacking it nice and neatly, because what we did find was multiple bags of the same item, which I've tried to keep together, but I'm not convinced I've done a proper job. But we'll sort that out. Hopefully hopefully none of these are new lots. This is just about the piece count, but if any of these are new, it means that I've not yet brought into the store the other smaller amount, and that's going to make things a bit tricky, because obviously this is the overstock, and really the overstock needs to stay in an overstock box and go upstairs. There were, however, some really small bags in there, but we're just going to have to you know, make a decision as we start to consolidate. Obviously from the title of the video, you probably know how many parts are in here, but I'll show you the brick store file once it's all completed and all done. Now, I'm hoping I can get this done this afternoon. We're just about to break for lunch, and then I'm going to have got, what, 4, maybe 5 hours to really get at it. But it is Friday, and I do like to finish early on a Friday. So let's see how we can get on. Well, that was hard work. That's all of it consolidated now, all reorganized, and all back in my sort of overflow boxes, as well as the really useful drawers that I'm storing upstairs. There were a few new lots. I think some of them I'd actually sold out on, so no big deal with them. They've been added into this room. I think there were a few though that I'm missing from the Rayco units that I've not yet done. So when that stock comes in, it might cause a bit of an issue in terms of capacity, but we'll see. Right, so this is the store list based on part count. Now this is page 1, and I've been on page 1 for quite a while, but I'm sort of down here sitting at 524,000 parts. So I know you're all itching, well, I say you're itching to know, but you'll have seen it from the title of the vlog, but confirmation that the total number of items is 32,462. 25 kilos of Lego. Wow. Value £1,800. I haven't yet run that through BRICKS, which I will do after the upload, and we'll see how that adjusts the price. Might go down, but it might also go up. But lots, I mean lots and lots of quantity, all sorts of stuff. Anyone interested in the leaves? 4,790 just been added, so quite a lot. And I've realised actually there's still quite a lot of bulk still left to do. The IKEA sort of storage boxes, I've forgotten what the design's called, but I think Keith had them on the top of his shelving units behind his desk. I've still got about 6 of those left to do. They're currently all down in the chapel, and that's going to add more of bulk. But I think we're all a bit tired now of counting, even with the scales. I think the boys are a bit bored now, so I don't want to abuse the fact that they've really helped me out these last couple of days, and so has the wife. So thank you to you all. Right, anyway, but 32,500 parts. Let's get it uploaded. I'm going to just put the camera down. Let me just see if I can zoom out. Oh, that'll be the keyboard. Okay. So I've done all the prices, all the comments are done, the remarks are all done. I'm happy. So 134 lots in this as well. Let's just scroll down. There we go. 32,462, 134 lots. So that's spot on. Right, upload. There we go, pretty quick. So, can I highlight myself? No, not really, but no, that didn't work, did it? That's where I am, that bottom one that's highlighted. Oh, just reach over and refresh. And there we go, we've jumped quite a few places actually up the list. If we use Hillian's Bricks as the marker as to where I was, which is just here, I've moved all the way up here. So 556,000 parts So 7,000 parts clear of the next person, and another, well, another 16,000 parts to get up to the next store. That's going to be a bit of a challenge over the next few weeks, I think. There's VLOG39. He commented on a YouTube video, so hello. I can see you there on the bottom of the list. On this view, it's not the bottom of the actual list, it's just the bottom of the page. So there's quite a few well-known stores all above me in terms of item count. I don't think I'm ever going to get this high. Just looking at the Brick Arena file, actually, there's, according to the file, 247,000 parts left. So that will get me up around about here once it's all added, and then I can get back to sort of business as usual and start getting on with my own bulk, my own part outs and things like that. But I think the speed at which we're growing will come to a sort of crashing halt. But we'll see. I think we're a good few months away from that at the moment. But that feels really good. 30,000 parts uploaded. I think a great effort from everybody. So, what time is it? It's nearly 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon. I feel like I deserve a drink in the garden, but I've got customers coming this evening for East Midlands Lego Hire, so that will have to wait for a little bit. So I might go and do something with the kids. Right, I will probably film a little bit more tomorrow morning, just on the orders, and then we'll see what's left for the rest of the weekend. We've not made any plans at the moment, although parkrun might be on the cards. We'll see. Right, let's get cracking. Good morning, it's Saturday, and just back from parkrun. PB for Charlie, so that's really, really good. For me, I'm way off the fitness I used to have, but it's a start. Orders have been packed and they're already off to the post office, so we've kind of finished for the week. So today I'm just going to do a bit of tidying up and then probably relax, I think. It's been a long week this week. So if you've made it this far in the vlog, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all next week.